10th, 2014. Take a motion to accept the agenda.
I second the motion.
No, make a motion.
Oh, make a motion to open the meeting?
Second it. All those in favor?
No.
No, to
You have to
accept the
make a
agenda.
motion to accept the agenda.
Yeah, meeting's open. Yeah.
Make a motion to accept the agenda.
All right.
Yes.
Second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
All right, so that's done, acceptance of agenda, and 7:10 Director's Report and updated proposed tobacco regulations. Cool. And we did have some minutes. Did you get the minutes? Did you go over any of the minutes?
Well, Mike, I emailed them
Yes.
Last week.
4 sets.
Yes, 4 sets. Yes, I did look at those,
I
yes.
didn't know if you wanted hard copies.
Yeah, no, I did look at those, yes.
I had a couple of,
There was only one thing that I saw. And that's only personal. My name was spelled wrong.
hey,
Sorry.
I'll take that personal, too.
Only once, though.
I'm going to go through them in 2 secs here. I had a couple of minor changes, because Mary, you do a good job on the minutes, and we do appreciate it. All right, there was one set of meeting minutes we can't vote on tonight. Those were the January 6th meeting minutes. I was not present. One member can't approve them, so we're
Right.
going to put a hold on those anyways. All right, January 27th. All right, we'll start with October 21st. I think this is just like typing errors. On page 2, down towards the bottom, let's go 1, 2, third paragraph up from the bottom where it starts, Mr. Hassett.
Uh-huh.
I think towards the end there, in the next sentence, you got a he. I think we only need one he.
Okay.
Instead of a ha-ha?
Yeah. And then right after that, he stated they were creating a habitat, and then it says 4 bats. Creating a habitat, I
4
think.
bats.
Just 4 bats, yeah, you can eliminate the TO. Simple, simple. And then on page 3, second paragraph, last sentence, Mr. Vaza made a motion to accept proposed plan, and Mr. Panzi seconded the motion. You had accepted, so I would go with seconded, and I believe it was unanimously approved. That was just missing. And then on page 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth paragraph down, kind of looks like maybe the 6th. He also explained coupons may not be applied to any tobacco. I think you got written problems. We want products.
I did not get that.
And I think that was it for Monday, October 21st, 2013. I would, do you want to look them over quick?
Yeah. There was one. I was not under the impression that we needed to change grammatical errors, so that's why, when I read it, I just glance right over it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm just,
Okay.
and believe me, my English teacher would be proud of me because I was not the best English student, so I just, if I catch it,
My English teacher
This-
made us write a grammatically correct story, and she made us correct it every time till we had it totally grammatically correct.
well, some of those things I just,
We never wanted to write another story.
Actually, when I do something at home, it's nice to have someone else look at it, because in your mind, you've read it so many times,
You're too close to it.
you're too close to it, and if you step back, and even sometimes if you read it 2 nights later, you look and go, oh man, what the heck was I saying there? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, then there's a time I can't read my own writing sometimes.
You want to accept them all at the same time or do them one by one?
We'll just do them one by one.
All right. Make a motion to accept the minutes from Monday, October 21st, 2013.
Seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
There we go. It's in the book. November 18th. Okay. I'll let you read that first.
Ban e-cigarettes and other nicotine delivery products in restaurants and public buildings. Meaning that.
Did we get a second on the motion? And was the-
Yes, we did.
We did, okay. So on page 4, I thought we did too, but I
What date is that?
That's
I'm
the
sorry, Mary.
November 18th.
Yep, 2013. On page 4, Steve made a
A motion.
motion to ban e-cigarettes and other nicotine delivery products in restaurants and public buildings. That was also seconded and unanimous.
And then, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Geez, I can't get that word out.
Right.
I need a drink, I don't know.
Uh-uh.
Get my speech flowing better. That was all I saw in this one. Unless you see anything.
No, there was one, and I forget which one that I saw my name, but that's fine. It's-
We'll review all of them
It's
for your name.
it's a million different times, so. from
Yeah, I
now-
had, it's funny, I picked up one too where,
From now on, I'll print them out, and I didn't realize that we were doing grammatical stuff. Okay.
okay, so yeah.
Make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from Monday, November 18th, 2013.
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye.
We're good. All right, I had the same thing on page 2. I had a Mr. Russell. Would be Mr. Russell.
What date?
Mr. Clark.
Which date?
Monday, January 27th, 2014.
Mr. Russell.
That's my alias.
Did we have any from December?
Nope, that was just the, just the
What we
4.
did?
No, there was a snowstorm and then.
Oh,
And then-
that's right, there's
Christmas.
the snow, yeah. We were gonna.
Okay. This one here, it's my own wording, but just something doesn't sound right. Maybe I'm missing something.
Mr. Harris stated the board is looking at putting a restriction on the purchase of these products. Mr. Clark, so along with smoking at beaches and parks. Well, that has nothing to do with putting an age restriction, looking at putting an age restriction on it.
No, I think there's,
And then we noted that it would be too difficult to police because of smoking at beaches and parks, we couldn't police it. This doesn't seem like it belongs there.
yeah, we're just looking at page 4, Mary, on the top paragraph. The last sentence, it seems to have been stitched on there, and maybe it belongs somewhere else. It was in the discussion with Selectman Harris.
Okay.
And the only question I had was, we did the discussion of proposed tobacco regulations. I don't recall if we voted to continue them, or it was definitely said we were going to continue them. I made it point blank that there would be no vote on it that night, and you can read that in the minutes, but we didn't officially say we're going to take a vote to continue. Does that affect our...
No, you just say you continue, because you never closed the hearing, right?
Right.
No, we never closed it either, so it continues on. Okay, well, that was part of a question we had too with the paper and the filing fees and everything else, so I didn't want to put ourselves in an embarrassing situation. So I just wanted to bring that question up, so that clarifies it. Thank you. And, yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm cool with that. So, accept a motion.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from Monday, January 27th, 2014.
Seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right,
All right.
moving right along, 7:10 PM, Director's Report.
Well, Florida's nice this time of year.
There you go. What part of Florida did you go to?
My mother's up in the Springs, West Coast, just above Naval.
It's been nice down there.
Yeah, I needed it. Don't know what this white stuff is on the ground. It's not nice sand, I'll tell you. So anyway, back to where we are. I would have some comments when we reopen the hearing. And basically, I would say that by next meeting, we will be finishing up with the tobacco regs. And my suggestion would be to go back to the well regs.
After we finish the tobacco regs.
Right.
Yes.
And try and
Yes.
get those finished up.
How you doing?
Good. Is that tobacco thing?
Yes.
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 What time, 7:10, they said?
We're almost there. We're doing director's report now, but we'll be there in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Welcome aboard.
And so, the other thing is, I already checked with Stephen, you got the annual report, I presume. So, okay, that's
Yes.
done. Next week, Tuesday night Board of Selectmen, Thursday night Advisory Committee on the budget.
I'm not in the best position to go. Next week is February vacation.
I know.
Tuesday night, I can probably escape. I think Thursday night, I'm going to Boston. I don't think I'm going to be around.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever. One of the other,
I can set you up with probably look just like me, a dummy. Sit next to him in the chair and.
no, I mean, maybe one of the other board members will volunteer, we'll see. Right now, for Thursday night, we have a training scheduled on psychological first aid for MRC, SANS, and CERT people. I'm understanding we may have snow that day, so I may have to change that date. I'll make the call tomorrow. And then March 15th, we're doing an emergency dispensing site drill for certain SANS and MRC at Jenkins School. We're required to do that, and I have to do an after-action report and submit it by the 31st before I leave. So I'm going to try and button everything up as much as I can. I expect to be unwillingly available afterwards. I may take another couple of weeks in Florida. I don't know that month. Depends on the airfares. But if the board has any concerns, some priorities, you want to talk things through, something else you want to try and get done before I leave, let me know. So I can figure out how to work it into the schedule. Okay. I haven't heard any plans on the replacement, but that's not my purview, so whatever.
This is
it
going to maybe come up in the next one, but we're going to have some marijuana regulations and things coming up. But we're in a one-year moratorium.
There's a bylaw that the planning board has voted on,
Yeah.
and it will go before town meeting. The licenses have been issued. The nearest licenses to us are Plymouth and Quincy. Norwell did not get one.
So they'll be selling it in those towns, not here in Scituate.
Correct.
That's where the dispensaries are, so that's something we don't have to worry about at this time.
Right,
Okay.
right. And even if they were selling it in this town, all the control is with the state.
Okay. Medical use. So it's prescribed by a doctor, so it's not going to matter on an age limit. It's up to the doctor.
Yeah, it's not.
It's up to the doctor. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, that's where we're at, right. Now, the other thing is, I understand you had walk-ins from Stanton Lane. As I said in my letter to them, I had complaints last summer of sewage going from a septic system down there into the water. When I went down to investigate, I hadn't been on that street in several years, and that several storms have come and gone, and it was much more, the beach was much more eroded than in my memory, which raised concerns to me that, you know, if these people are going swimming right in front of their houses, which would be logical to assume, you know, the water may not be that safe if their systems are in fact in the groundwater. And that's the same idea as what we did on Peggotty Beach, ordering those people for Title V
Right.
inspections
Did you read the-
and near the reservoir.
Did you read the meeting minutes?
I didn't read the meeting midgets, but I've read their letters to me.
Okay, okay.
And
Because they were very polite when they came in,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
that's-
think we gave them a nice explanation that, you know, we couldn't defend or, you know.
We couldn't speak on it because we
On your
didn't know.
behalf,
Right.
but we said this is a normal protocol and this is the reason why it's been done, and they understood. I think they were
Yeah.
pretty good about it. And then they asked, one guy says, well, I'm not even living in the house. I says, just send a letter in, explain an extension or whatever else, as long as you show forward progress with what the town's asking for. We're not
Yeah.
here to ride you. We want things done right, but, you
yeah,
know.
one asked for extension, and then Mr. Massa is protesting. I protest too much, because I have not shown that the system is failing. But what I ordered was a full Title V system, because a storm Title V inspection does not require groundwater determination, and in this case, that's so close, I think it's got to do groundwater determination.
And he's refusing to do it.
Did you written back to him explaining that?
No, I just
Okay.
read it today.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't know that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm jumping the gun a little bit, I apologize. Well, then that would be the course of action, I would say, to explain it to him, and again, if he has a problem, he can come in and we can explain it to him in person, and he may see the light of that, with the reasoning. I mean, it's, like I said, the people, I think they understood where we were coming from, and if it makes good sense, then I'm sure he will, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, I will certainly try and explain it to him again,
Yeah.
and, you know, I'll copy the board on it like I did last time, and we'll see what happens.
How many letters did you send out? How many went out?
I think there was 5,
And
maybe,
have
4 or
they-
5.
Have they all responded?
I don't know, I
Oh,
haven't.
you haven't got that?
Checked.
Okay.
Well, that's part of the thing, like you just reminded me, and I knew but forgot, that you just got back, and that's well within reason.
Yeah.
You've been gone for 2 weeks, and, yeah,
Yeah, so, I'll see.
yeah, okay.
You know, I'm willing to work with anybody, but I'm really concerned.
Yeah, no, it stands to reason that it needs to happen, and it needs to happen, a full inspection, because it needs to happen. Especially the way these storms just destroy the
I know.
coast.
I know. You know, I'm pretty sure that one of them had somebody look at one of their systems and the structure was intact, which was fine. But my concern is the groundwater and the swimming water. I just don't want them to take that chance. You know, and it's something they aren't knowledgeable to think about, and I am, and I
No.
gotta play the bad guy.
Yep, no, I don't think you're being the bad guy, I think it's,
So the groundwater would be to dig one observation hole to see where the groundwater is?
They may not even have to do that. I mean, if they have a cesspool, they would just have to pump it and let the tide, and make it high tide. And if the water's coming in at high tide,
then you know it's,
Well, that could be explained too, because that could save somebody a lot of money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I hate to feel like we're punishing these people for something they didn't have any control of,
and-
but we have to look at it from the health aspect that it's got to be done, but, you know, I think that's working with them, which would be great.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the other thing they could do, if they have a leaching pit, which I think most of them do.
Yeah, we can pump that out and be there
Do
to.
the same thing.
at
Watch
Luna
it
High
come-
tide.
Right.
Watch and see if the water comes in.
see if the water comes in.
Right.
And, you know, when we make them do the perk test, we make it at 11 foot high tide, so we would do the same for them. 11-foot high tide, we'll check. So, I mean, you know, better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's, you know, that's basically we just have to have access to that pit, which shouldn't be a whole lot. I mean, they still have to get the regular data from the rest of the system, but that's not necessarily real intrusive.
Right.
So,
Right, that's all I'm looking at. I just say, I hate to see somebody feel like they're getting punished for something that, you know, financially or the burden, but it's something we gotta do, and I think if it's explained properly, they understand that.
yeah, so that's where
I
we
was
are
gonna
with
say
that.
too, if something had to be, if all the properties are close together, we've done that before, where you can piggyback off of one another, so.
Well, may be a possibility they can tie to sewer. I'm not sure because of the barrier beach situation. They may be able to, they may not.
Yeah. Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay. I would suggest you reopen the hearing.
All right, we'll reopen the hearing for updated proposed tobacco regulations.
I would just like to go on record that the board has received comments from NATO.
Now,
And
what does
the-
NATO stand for?
It doesn't explain it, but. I
thought it did up top.
No, it didn't. National Association of Tobacco Outlets
Yeah.
Incorporated, NATO. The executive director and legal counsel, Thomas A. Bryant, submitted these comments, and the board has received them and will be part of our official record. The other thing is, you may or may not see, this is an article that was in March 2014 of Consumer Reports on e-cigarettes, still many questions. I think that should be also part of our record.
Okay.
And I believe you have a concerned citizen in the audience who may have comments.
Yes. Yeah, we'll open it up, sure. Just name and address and for the record.
My name's Tony Picella, Scituate Country Club.
Mhm.
No, I just got a message today that there was a meeting tonight regarding tobacco regulations.
All right.
I thought it would be in my best interest to attend.
Good man, we like that. Was there any concern you might have had, or any question?
Well, I'm not really exactly sure what my situation is such, I don't sell cigarettes. I sell cigars to people who don't play golf.
Yeah.
That's, so as far as the new regulations, I'd be interested to understand what they're.
Okay, our regulations are on our website, if you'd like to go on that. You go to situatema.gov, and then you go into different departments,
Right.
which would be the Board of Health, and then the proposed regs are up there. A lot of our cigar regs are regarding a certain size, or the blunts, the ones that tend to be flavored, more because they seem more attractive to the youth. I think that's.
We were looking at maybe selling only cigar packages of up to four, but there was also a price limit to say you could sell single cigars, but they had to be above the price tag of
$2.50, I think.
$2.50. So do you sell single cigars today? Is that,
That's all I do is sell essentially single cigars.
do you have any under the price of $2.50?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Well, then you'd be exempt.
Yeah.
You'd be exempt, yeah. Yeah, you'd be outside of that standard. And
The only other thing.
is there smoking of cigars, I'm sorry to interrupt, but is there smoking of cigars inside or anything, or is it just out on the course?
Just out of the course.
Yeah, so that's fine too. We're not looking to do anything in public places or outside. I think, as the board stated before, it would be too hard to police, and it's gotten beyond our scope. So
And I know at one time, as far as the regulations go, we as a private club probably could have allowed smoking cigars inside that's still available? Not that I would ever want to even think of doing that.
You'll be painting every year.
Yeah.
I think private clubs is still allowed, yeah.
It's still, yeah, and I just didn't bring the.
But it would not be allowed if the private club had a
Public.
public function, i.e. a wedding
Right.
or something like that, or a recognition dinner or something where the public or members of the public could attend.
But if you had a private member poker night or something like that, then,
I wouldn't even think about it, because I believe that can't get rid of the odor. And it's the last thing I want to say, that, it's the 1770s building at home planet. Cigar smoke running all through it, so.
the only other thing that might affect you is if someone's at the pub and you might see them with an e-cigarette. We proposed that they treat the e-cigarettes the same as cigarettes. Now they go outside to a designated smoking area. And now they can sit wherever, and, your waitstaff or whatever doesn't say anything. If you already don't have that rule in place, that will be something that will affect, and I don't know if anybody does there or not.
Surprisingly, I haven't run into that yet. Anybody that does smoke leaves the building.
Do you see the e-cigarettes there at all? Or have you noticed them?
You see them once in a while.
Yeah.
Someone might have them, but they're just not, they're not mainstream there yet anyways. And you don't get too many people that smoke up there, just, there are certain people certainly that smoke cigarettes, but it's a real small population.
Well,
It's more my health than my customers.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing about the secondhand smoke, and that's what we're looking at. It's if the individual wants to do it, that's their business, what they do at home.
Right.
All the power to you. It's the person that doesn't have a choice in the matter.
Right.
And most people I've owned with businesses are happy with, since the cigarettes have been eliminated out of restaurants.
Absolutely.
It's a cleaner environment, they don't go home stinking of them, and they're not worried about the secondhand smoke. And the e-cigarettes, I think, was on the same thing. We're not sure what's with the vapor and the other stuff. And most people I've talked to said, I'm glad you guys are looking towards banning that. I can't say we are, because we haven't voted on it yet, but it seems to be weighing that way.
Right.
Then I don't have to deal with it. I can just say the Board of Health said no, and that means no.
Exactly.
Boom, end of conversation.
It makes the decision process easy.
Yeah, yeah.
For a business owner, absolutely.
Is there, does that answer?
Yeah, I mean, unless there's anything more that,
I can't think if there'd be
Those
any-
are the only two things that I can think of that would affect you and your customers.
okay.
And as I read through the minutes, I think we've been discussing this since October. And I can't thank you enough for coming in, because we have had no support either side. Well, we have had support
Very
from,
little feedback.
very little feedback. Yeah, that's a better way to
from
put
the
it.
townspeople.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't really been paying attention, so I apologize for that. But, as I say, it is something I do offer. It does affect me a little bit, but as you say, everything I do is outside. I sell them at my pro shop for people on the course. They tend to be a little more expensive, but, so it's not really, as I say, too much of an issue, but in most of, and of course, age limit and all, that's all an easy thing to deal with. I mean, we know all of our customers anyways, inside and out, so it's, we don't have too much of an issue, let's say, another store would have or something like that. But, it certainly does affect me a little bit, and it's something a lot of people like to enjoy when they're playing golf, it sort of goes
Right.
along. My only problem is they, get the cigar butts sitting on the third tee or something, that someone forgets to pick up or whatever. That's my biggest problem.
All right. Well, thank you for the input. I hope we explained, and
Certainly did.
yeah, if there's anything else, I think we might have a little more discussion tonight, and probably in 2 weeks we'll make a decision.
Great.
So,
Well, good luck with that.
all right. Thank you kindly.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Have a good night.
You too.
The only thing, do you have anything to add? Is there anything?
So I do have a question. Does he need a permit? Does he have a permit to sell it?
You don't think so, and yes, he does. Send him an application.
He has a tobacco permit,
Scituate Country Club?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
good.
Well, there we go.
Yay.
Yeah. He is on the uppity up.
There you go, good. So is there any other, anything, because,
You do not want to do anything until Michael comes back, correct?
well, we can discuss things, but I don't think I want to do a vote or anything.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
can. The more I think about it, I think that's a good idea. We should do it there. And then you can read this email again when you get home. Michael probably already read it. If not, he will read it.
Yeah, I did read through that. No, it's very interesting. It brings up some points.
It is
and-
interesting. It doesn't, I don't think it changes any of my decisions, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
But,
If it doesn't change a decision, then it might be a good thought to have a counterpoint to say, because they do raise a question why, and it might be because. So it might be a good
Well,
counterpoint.
it's the cost
If that's the
reason,
way
the
it is.
flavor reason.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
it's, right. Well, that's the, I mean, the blunts, you know, because we didn't give a reason why. I think everybody out there knows why, you know, the flavored blunts and what they're used for. His customers certainly aren't going buying them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most adults certainly aren't going buying them for the specific reason of just using them as a cigar. We know what they're being used for. So, in that respect, I firmly agree with that. I did not read the thing against New York City. I will read that. That's like 60 pages long, and that's all legalese, so I'm only gonna get some out of it.
Yeah, that's the coupon thing. and-
That's the coupon thing, right?
They raise a point of what teenagers come in, underage kids come in with a coupon. If they got the tailbone enough to go and try and buy a pack of cigarettes, do you think they're gonna come in and do it with a coupon? I see their point, but whether that matters or not.
I'm sure in New York City, it's a larger problem than we have here.
Correct,
Right.
correct,
So,
yeah,
and that's it. That's all I have.
yeah. So I guess if we've got,
Do you have anything else?
I don't at this time, no.
I'd like to say that at the next meeting, the three of us, we should think about, as Jennifer said, things that we'd like her to wrap up before her tenure's done.
okay,
The thing you could do vote on right now is to close the hearing. And then you could just vote, just do a discussion and vote on it at the next meeting. Which, by closing the hearing means you're taking no more input.
I don't know, is it,
Well, we're not advertising it anymore, correct?
not in the paper, but it's
Right.
advertised here. I don't know, I like a debate, I don't know. We haven't had anybody come in though, so what's the
Well,
difference?
But
But-
what are the odds?
Yeah, no, I know. I know, but what's the difference if we show up and we all look at each other and say, that's it, end of discussion? If there's nobody here, then there's nobody here, and it's end of discussion.
No, it's not end of discussion.
End of public.
It's end of public input. You
Right.
can still have discussion.
I'm with you. I don't mind keeping it open if somebody,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm with.
All right, then just
I
say-
think to me, this is a big change, and I'm surprised there's really,
I'm very surprised, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
that there really hasn't been any more backlash is what I would figure. But you know what happens is that things change and then somebody will come in 6 months from now.
tell us
You
how we
won't-
snuck it in.
You won't
or
have to,
what.
you won't have to deal with it. Right, they'll say we're sneaky and we snuck it in somewhere and it's affecting them minimally at best.
Well, all I could say is, there's been 2 paper articles on it,
Right.
you know. That's, WHED wanted something on it, and I didn't even call them back, because I didn't even know what I was gonna tell them.
Right.
They called Thursday or Friday, and I told them there wouldn't be anything going on because of vacations and people not in, and there really wasn't much to comment on. So, and I did talk to the Globe and the Ledger, so,
Yeah, well, the Ledger called today, said, we're gonna vote, I said, nope, not voting.
yeah,
So I knew, that I had talked to you by then, so I knew that much.
yeah, yeah. So that's it, we've got a framework here, if there's, go through that, I guess we're pretty much there. Well, if it's the same as this, then we close it and vote it.
Yeah, so
Or we
just,
close it, discuss it with the board to make sure there's no tweaks that one of the three of us, I think we're all pretty close there, so
well,
it's,
the thing, in addition to the full regulations that we advertised for under consideration was e-cigarettes not being, being treated the same as cigarettes as far as being utilized in restaurants and public, in workplaces.
Yeah, I think we were pretty much in agreement that
And
that should be added
then,
in.
that you want, is a discussion about raising the annual fee? You want to raise?
I thought we already voted that.
We already,
We
Well-
voted that and approved it to $200. It was
Yeah,
in the
but
mid-
we have to acknowledge, we're gonna have to publish it, so you wanna say that so that it's official,
Yeah.
okay? And the one more thing that you would have to determine is, what about raising the age of purchase?
I think you and we talked about that last time, that we might hold off, depending on what Michael's views are.
I keep flip-flopping on that back and forth. I really do.
I know.
It's a matter of fact, you bring it up, I was almost thinking, because I read the minutes from January 6th, where you guys were in agreement to go to 21, and I says, geez, if the other board members are, I could see it. And you could almost put in there that if you had a disabled veteran or a somebody in active military with an ID, then let them buy.
Right. I know, I was reading the once CVS announced last week that they were gonna quit selling cigarettes. I started reading some of the stuff on some of the social media sites about that same exact thing, and it got me thinking again that, it is right, they can go defend us, but if they can't go buy a pack of butts, so.
They can't drink alcohol either.
You can't drink alcohol
They
either,
can't
right?
drink alcohol either, which is,
That's a health thing.
that's out of our
Yeah.
pay grade.
I know, but I mean,
Right.
there's some analogy with it.
Right. So.
I mean, 21's really setting the bar
Well,
high.
I mean, I think 19 would be logical. And then, again, the kids who are gonna wanna smoke, they're gonna find a way to get it anyway, just trying to make it just that much hotter. So, I toss that back and forth, so I don't know, maybe we should.
Yeah, it'd be a good debate with the three of us.
Well, it'll be a discussion
Yeah.
for you to have when
Right.
Michael's here.
I think we're all on the same, it's just a matter of doing it, You get the tailbone to put it out there.
Right. Yeah, that's it. I think that's exactly it. All right. Make a motion to adjourn? We done?
We're all set? Second. Adjourned.